Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to Murder Most Misfortunate. So I decided to come back to this. I was like, yeah, but
I wandered back to the king bedroom by myself to take a closer look at some of the decor. The air in the old house was still and thick with dust. But even had there been a draft, I doubt the black drapes by the room's window would have stirred. Even I was surprised by how thick and heavy the material was. No sunlight would have pierced its way into this room against its occupant's wishes. That much was certain. The elaborate carvings on the wooden bedposts intrigued me. Spirits and demons of all sorts circled and surrounded any lord who might sleep in this bed.
hmm.
Was this preferable, I wondered, than sleeping in the arms of Lamika Lee, blood drinker as she was rumored to be? Looks like our court magician has managed to conjure back a little light for us after all. For just the slightest of moments, I considered collapsing into the antique red chair in the room's corner. After all, we'd spent the evening on our feet, traipsing about the house for the prince's little ghost tour. Then I remembered that spiderwebs don't just come out of nowhere, and that upholstery is a prime place for the little nasties to hide. I would have to remember to warn our doe-eyed little angel about that as well. You know, in addition to the possible bloodstains and all. Just what kind of skeletons did the Lee family have locked away inside that conspicuous old chest? I must confess, I have a terrible weakness for things that are locked up to keep me out of them. Alas, it's my brother Sir Price who's rather handy with the lockpicks, not me.
Give me a minute. I'm fixing my cords. There we go.
Had these books on the shelf belonged to the Lee family as well? Curious, I skimmed a few of the titles. A History of the Republic, Genealogy of the Great Families, How to Train Killer Bats, Genghis Khan and the 21 Balloons. All dreadfully dull classics, I'm sure.
At last I found you, Misfortune. You need to come right away. Please.
It's Egil!
Whatever is the matter? You look like you've seen a ghost with that one eye of yours.
There's no time to waste, miss. You should see for yourself.
You should see for yourself.
Gathering my skirts, I hurried after the hulking valet, back to the hall where we had first arrived. From the urgency in his pace and in his voice, I knew that something had happened. But still.
Yeah, this is where the demo ended.
It was our host, Prince Titanico. He was dead. That alone wouldn't scare me. I was no stranger to dead bodies. But from the way he was lying, it was clear that his death was no accident. He'd been murdered. And that meant that someone in the mansion was the murderer.
Don't you dare tell me it's the demo only. Well, game has been saved. Cutie.
I found the rest of the ladies. Now, Klops, what is this all about?
Is that a body? Here! Oh, how positively horrid!
Ah, everyone, shield your eyes!
The other guests stood
Didn't
in the
mean to do
doorway
that.
opposite myself and Klops. My eyes fell on our oh-so-sensitive ingenue, Charisse. If ever there was a time to faint for real, this was it. But she didn't. She just stared into the room, her eyes wide, glassy, and unblinking.
Somebody needs to call the police!
Yes, ma'am. Right away.
Yes, ma'am. Right
It'll
away.
take them a while. We're ways out of the city.
We shouldn't touch anything. Let's all go back to the dining room and wait for the police to arrive.
My idea too. I want.
What?
We can't just sit and wait. We need to investigate. We need to see the truth with our own eyes. I'm with you on that, Sherry.
Well, if our precocious little darlings are going to be poking about, I'm certainly not going to be left out.
If you insist, then.
My dears, please do be very careful.
We won't disturb anything, Comtessa. I promise.
That is not what I meant. It could be that whoever did this has not gone far.
Surely it was just some villain who has since fled the scene.
I'll keep an eye out, sir. Just nobody wander far, you understand?
Perhaps it would have been more comforting to believe the culprit was some stranger, a shadow in the night that was now long gone. But it just wouldn't have fit the evening's theme, now would it?
No, it wouldn't.
I had a hunch that there was something more afoot in the old manor that night, and I certainly wasn't going to trust anyone else to properly figure it out.
Oh, what a tragedy. What a cruel twist of fate. And to think, tonight was meant to be an evening of joy and making merry.
I'm not exactly sure that joy is the word I'd pick for an evening in this house. But I'll admit, I was never expecting anything like this.
It was such a monstrous sight. Do you think Miss Leah and Miss Charisse will be all right?
All right.
No. I mean,
Didn't mean to do
think
that.
they'll be distraught? You, if you don't mind me saying, are a woman of the world, Misfortune. But they are so young, so pure, like a newly bloomed flower that has only seen sunlight, never knowing that there is also night and all the horrors that it hides.
A rose, by any other name, can still prick you quite nastily if you don't know what you're doing.
I beg your pardon?
Never mind, my dear Horatio. Prince Titanico mentioned an announcement that he wished to make this evening. Do you know what that was all about?
Yes. Or at least, I think so.
You mean you're not sure?
You must understand, the prince was a man with a flair for the dramatic. He rather liked his...
Alright, before I continue, because it's auto, but I'm not pressing anything. I at least want to put in some commentary.
secrets and...
I think,
That?
sorry, accidentally. I think he killed himself. You know?
I don't doubt. In fact, I wouldn't put it past him.
My dear friend did have rather unusual tastes.
Unusual taste.
But I fear in this case, it was not part of the plan.
I see. So, are you going to tell me then?
About what?
About the announcement, of course.
No, I think not.
Oh?
As I said, he liked his secrets. Telling you now, it just wouldn't be what he'd want.
Well, if you do so insist on being obstinate, I suppose I will have to make do on my own.
A true magician never reveals his secrets, Misfortune, nor those of his friends.
Where were you when this absolutely dreadful business happened?
I imagine I must have still been in the basement, or very close to it. I'd only just got the lights back on, and I was coming up the stairwell when Klops found me.
Was he the one to discover the body then?
I believe so. He asked me to help find all the guests, which leads me to cleverly deduce that I was the first one he encountered after the gruesome discovery.
Clever indeed. Nothing gets past you, does it, dear?
Ooh, sarcasm.
Ahem. Well, I wouldn't go that far. But where were you, Misfortune?
I was in the king bedroom.
Alone?
As it happens, yes. I've always been the sort to need a little bit of me time every so often, you know.
But you could have been in danger!
Oh, horrors, you're right. If only I was clairvoyant, I might even have been worried at the time, too.
Well,
Clairvoyant?
never fear. You're
I don't know
safe
big
now.
words, they hurt my head.
Yes, I'm sure I am. Horatio, how long had you known our dear departed host?
I have, well, had been his closest friend and confidant for many years.
Oh, yes, the Grand Magus of his court, didn't you say?
I did, but alas, though I can conjure a parlor trick or two, I could do little to foresee this unseemly doom.
Indeed, unseemly. Just the word I would have used. Presumably you would know, then, if the prince had any enemies.
A man like the prince always does, but none of them are here.
I would say the evidence suggests the contrary.
Surely you don't mean to suggest that it was one of us. After all, didn't you say that all your husbands just died from bad luck? Perhaps it was that.
Yes, quite. Bad luck. I do believe it's about time I took a bit of a stroll.
Do be careful, Misfortune, and please, if you have need of my talents.
Worry not, my dear. If the lights happen to go out again, I'll know just who to call.
Whoa. Check out the smoking room. It's only 7 p.m., not a.m.
I returned to what the prince had called the proverbial
I'm re-recording this
It
the
struck
night
me
before.
that this would be the perfect place to call everyone and reveal the truth to this mystery.
For you, it would be the night
All in
before.
good
For
time,
me,
of
it's
course.
like 7 p.m.
In the meantime, I thought it wise to take another look around while I still had the room to myself. That cabinet had a few things of interest in it, if I remember correctly. Let's take a closer look. In the cabinet, there was an odd little doll that seemed to be made out of straw. Was it some kind of voodoo doll? I tried making those a time or two myself, although, to my great dismay, they never seemed to actually work quite right. A padded velvet cushion sat in the cabinet looking somewhat forlorn. Surely it was meant to showcase something more interesting, but there was nothing on it now. I could swear that something had been on this cushion before. Just what was it? On one side of the room, there was a wine rack filled with dusty old bottles. Most were empty, but a few still contained small amounts of what must have been very well-aged red wine. At least, I hoped it was just wine. With a family like the Lees, one could never be quite sure. Perhaps I should take a bottle with me to check it later, just in case. The large crystal globe in the cabinet was impossible to miss. It seemed to be filled with a swirling red mist of some kind, and as I stared into it, I thought for a moment that I could see a pair of malevolent eyes. Or was it just one, staring back? But surely it must have just been my reflection in combination with the dim light. The strange pose of the statue in the corner of the room rather reminded me of my third husband. You see, the last time I saw the dear old boy, he was in the process of losing his balance. Goodness, the evening must be wearing on me more than I thought. Even my purse seems heavy. A knife? In my bag? It's even flecked with blood. And what's this? A ring? It looks decidedly pricey, but it's not one of mine. How did it get here? For just a moment, I was confused. But then the gruesome sight of Titanico's body flooded my thoughts, and the truth hit me. I was being set up. Almost certainly, what I held in my hands was the knife that had stabbed the prince. I don't know how it got in my purse, but whoever put it there had made a mistake. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, it's that anyone who tries to frame me for murder is going to regret it.
Ooh.
The strange pose of this terrible tragedy, really. I had to have those stairs completely replaced just to get the blood out.
Alright, so I'm actually gonna end it. Thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more. My face cam is gonna be down here from now on. So if you guys want to check it out up there. Check out some stuff up there if I ever get to it. If I don't, I'm lazy. Already know that. So, and then stuff over there. No, over there is gonna be over there. Videos over there. Shell up there. Scorcher up there. Gaster in the middle. Thank you. That is loud. All for watching. Like and subscribe for more. See you all in the next episode.